Thank you so much for having me here today. I'm truly honored to be here with you. Well, we are all here today because we took an opportunity. And opportunities are decisions that need to be taken. And when taken, the results can be windows that let you see beyond your expectations. Don't just sit and wait for an opportunity to come to you. We need to jump as quickly to opportunities as we sometimes do to conclusions. But we all know that with opportunities come challenges. We are challenged every single day. I want you to think back to the last 3 challenges you faced. 3 challenges that you faced. Think about that. Did that challenge devastate you? Or did it define you? I took an opportunity. It became a challenge. It became a challenge because I was left with nothing and I had to survive. Faced with fear, loneliness, adversity, it is in those times that we are challenged. Those are the times we find out what our true survival skills really are. Because adversity is not so much contending with problems as it is learning more about who we really are, what is inside of us. This opportunity that I took made me realize the value of these 6 words: faith, attitude, determination, confidence, desire, and perseverance. I call these 6 words my 6 words of survival. But a reality show? Really? I can tell by some of your expressions on your face today. Some of you are probably sitting here thinking, we have to sit here and listen to a woman who's been on a reality show. I don't even watch reality television. Am I going to know what she's talking about? Oh, come on, those shows are fake. They make that stuff up. Well, I use this experience to explain how your power lies within your interpretation of the situation and your ability to turn adversity into strength. But who would want to apply to be on a reality show in the first place? And why Survivor? Why would someone want to apply to be on a reality show where they literally drop you off in the middle of the jungle with the clothes on your back? They must give these people food. Do they have tents or campers out there? Do they give these people toilet paper? Do they have porta potties out there? I don't know if I can do this. I don't even like camping. And I am deadly afraid of snakes. I wonder how I get on this show. These were some of the questions that I was asking myself when I decided I wanted a challenge and an adventure in my life. I wanted to see if I could get on the #1 reality show in the world. I wanted to step out of my comfort zone, and that's when I decided I'm going to take this opportunity and I'm going to apply to be on Survivor. When I told my husband that I was going to apply to be on Survivor, he truly thought I had lost my mind. I had to make a 3-minute audition tape and I had to fill in a 24-page application. And when I received my first call from CBS, I truly thought it was a joke. I actually deleted the voicemail. Well, after this gentleman kept calling me. They flew me out to Los Angeles, California for a casting call. And when I received my call that I made it, I was truthfully shocked. The season that I applied for, they had over 100,000 people throughout the United States apply, and they were picking 20 people out of the 100,000 applicants. Never let the odds keep you from doing something that you want to do. I remember that final call that I received after I was talking to this gentleman, and we hung up. I called my husband, I called our 3 children, my mom, my stepdad, a couple girlfriends, and then I remembered, oh yeah, they told me I'm not supposed to tell anyone. How could I not share the news? I was on my way to Nicaragua, and they were going to drop me off in the middle of the jungle, and I had to survive with the clothes on my back. Now, I truly understand that not everybody watches reality television, so I'm going to very briefly tell you what happens. There's 2 tribes. The 2 tribes live in a different country in a very remote area, and then they meet every 3 days, and they do a challenge. Whoever loses the challenge, you have to go to something called tribal council, where you have to vote someone off within your tribe. When you go to tribal council, you have to take a torch. You carry your torch, and your torch is on fire. Your goal is to keep your torch lit for 39 days, get to the final 3 when you have a chance at winning $1 million. This is the actual torch I did have on Survivor. CBS did not let me keep this torch. I had to bid on this torch on eBay. Yes, so that is the story about my torch. So basically, your goal is to outwit, outlast, and outplay all the other contestants. 39 days, You will be the sole survivor. I was on my way to Nicaragua the day before I was supposed to leave. I'm sitting outside on our front porch, and as I'm watching the sunset, have you ever signed up for something, then the closer it got, you thought, what have I just done? That's where I was. I started to cry. There's no way I can do this. My husband came out and he sat beside me, and I said, Charlie, I'm backing out. I can't do this. Of course, he looked over at me and said, don't you think you should have thought about this before you applied? I should have, but I was fearing the unknown. If we let fear hold us back, we will never take opportunities. Never let fear decide your fate, because the thing about an opportunity is it's never lost. Someone will always take the one that you didn't. I flew to Nicaragua. We started playing the game of Survivor. They drop you off in the middle of the jungle, and you truly have to survive with the clothes on your back. This is the hut that we lived in. My slide is not going to the next slide. I do not know why. This is the hut that we lived in. We built our hut. The gentlemen went out and gathered bamboo and vine. The women gathered around, and we started weaving palm fronds together for the roof of our hut. The first night we were out there, our hut broke down 3 times in the pouring rain. This is how we would sit around and eat. We did start our game with a machete, a container of rice, and 2 buckets. That's it. There's no toilet paper, no shampoo, conditioner, blankets, pillows, absolutely nothing but the clothes on your back and these 4 items. Did I think they at least had porta potties out there? I did. They didn't. You have a camera on you 24 hours a day. I'm going to throw that back to you. If you had a camera on you for 24 hours a day for 1 week, everything that you said about anyone and everything that you did was going to be televised to the entire world. Could you do it? 1 week. Why? Well, there was one point in this game I should have been reminded that the cameras were rolling. So here I am. 1 shot. We had one lady in our season that applied 17 times before she made it. I'm playing the game of Survivor, and I start feeling guilty. I start second-guessing myself why I applied to be on this reality show. I became extremely overwhelmed. And that's when I did something on national television I should have never done. You see, there was this gentleman on my tribe, and don't get me wrong, if you can afford these types of things, that's great. But we're in the middle of the jungle trying to survive, and he's walking around bragging about his $2,500 pair of pants he had on, his $850 sweater, and he's constantly making fun of me. But when he came up to me and he said, "Where are you from?" I said, "I'm from South Dakota." He looked back at me and he said, "People actually live there?" I stole his $1,600 pair of alligator shoes, I filled them with sand, and I threw them in the ocean. That was wrong. You film the show and then you come home and you watch it. I watched myself on national television stealing. I watched myself on national television destroying someone's personal property. It made me realize that perhaps I need to live my life like I had a camera rolling 24/7. Perhaps we all need to think about that. It would make us more aware of the words that we say and our actions. I hit day 5 and I was done. Jimmy Johnson, the former NFL football coach for the Dallas Cowboys, was on my tribe. I walked up to Jimmy Johnson and I told him I needed to talk to him. Let me share with you what he said back. I'm having a hard time.
Yeah, I know. And everybody's concerned too.
You know, coming into this game, I was like, I can do this. And then you get here and it's the whole mental game. It's totally different.
Right.
I don't know if I can do it.
You can do it for 1 day, can't you?
I don't know if I can.
Well, it concerns me that Holly's having second thoughts about the game. She'd like to go home. I don't think it's the right thing to do just yet.
I can't do it. I've never failed anything in my life, but I have to be honest.
This is no different than a football player wanting to quit the team. We all go through some adverse times, and our minds get weak. Vince Lombardi says fatigue makes cowards of us all. Well, that's what happens out here.
The only thing I ask you to do is just give it your best, but we need you. We really do need you.
I know if I quit this game, I'll be letting my tribe down. So I'm gonna keep my head up. I'm gonna help the team out. And the emotional meltdown that I had today might either carry me through or it's gonna hurt me. I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see.
It doesn't take someone to be on a reality show to feel this. You felt it. There are days we hit those walls and we are physically and mentally exhausted. Do we let a challenge devastate us or define us? It takes those 6 words of survival. What was your attitude like this morning when you got up? Think back to this morning. You have a choice every morning that you get up. You can either be happy or you can be miserable. Each and every one of you in this room needs to believe in yourself. The best of the best believe in who they are. Determination is about focus to the finish. Determination and desire truly go hand to hand. Motivation is what gets us started, but it's desire and habit that keep us going. We all need to keep the faith. I made it to day 33 with many other stories in between. On day 33, I had 6 days left to get to the end. On day 33, the producers came into camp and they handed us a box. As we opened up this box, there was a cell phone inside the box. You don't have a cell phone, you don't have a computer, they take everything away from you. My family back home didn't know if I was in the game until my husband got a call from CBS and they told him that your wife is still in the game. He was truthfully shocked because before I left, he said, now Holly, don't talk so much. Because it's usually the ones that talk so much, they're the first ones voted off. Well, he had to gather our immediate family, and as I'm sitting in the middle of the jungle, homesick, starving, sleep deprived, let me share with you what I got to see on that cell phone.
Play.
Holly, we all know you're doing absolutely fantastic, but we miss you terribly. And the one thing I'm really looking forward to is putting my arms around you as soon as I possibly can, honey. Love you.
I miss him so much.
I have never wanted to go home more in my life. I had never ventured off. I had never been away from my family more than 3 days. But challenges are what make us stronger. What I didn't know is we got to the challenge that afternoon, and the top 6 contestants' loved ones were in Nicaragua. My husband was sitting in Nicaragua. One by one, they announced that our loved ones were there, and they came running around this grove of trees, and I couldn't wait to see my husband. Of course, he was the last one to be introduced, but as my husband came running around this grove of trees, my first thought was, you have got to be kidding me, he wore that ugly shirt. I don't know why that was my first thought, but it was. But I ran up to him and I said, honey, I'm sorry, I smell so bad. And he said, oh, no, you don't smell. And I was like, no, I smell. When I got home, he did tell me I smelled, but he didn't want to tell me on national television. We did a challenge together. Of course, we didn't win the challenge, but it will be something that we will remember forever. Here I am. I'm on day 38. I'm the last woman in the game, and I'm the last member of my tribe. I have 1 day left to get to the end. Do I make it? 1 day, I have to survive. This is how I looked before I left. Hired a personal trainer, put some weight on. I went 13 days with only eating a 1/4 cup of rice a day. I went an additional 9 days with eating 2 shellfuls of rice a day. This is how I looked before I left. When I flew home and my family greeted me at the airport, it was everyone that you saw in the video. My husband, our 3 children, my mom, and my stepdad when I walked around the corner. This is what they saw. Before, after. I could barely walk. My mom stood there crying. But my 24-year-old son walked up to me and he wrapped his arms around me and he looked at me in the eyes and he said, I'm proud of you, Mom. My son had never told me he was proud of me. The value of words. This is a reality show. This is life. It's how we survive in the real world that matters. I use this experience to explain how your power lies within your interpretation of the situation and your ability to turn adversity into strength. It takes these 6 words to define yourself when you face a challenge. Have faith. Choose your own attitude. Don't let someone else choose it for you. Every accomplishment starts with the decision to try. The whole world can believe in you, but if you don't believe in yourself, nothing else matters. Your desire to succeed should be greater than your fear to fail, and most importantly, never give up. So today, you have a choice. Your choice being, how do you want to be defined when you face a challenge? But if there's one thing I want each and every one of you to remember today as you walk out of the room, it's this: never give up. Because nobody can go back and start a new beginning, but anyone can start right here today and make a new ending. Take control of your life. Discover your true purpose and create your own future, because each and every one of you in this room is a real world survivor. Thank you so very much.